Welcome back,
boy.
guys. We had a pretty good week. Been really busy with work. Been a lot of snow. Actually, we're going to have another snowstorm coming in, so we'll probably get this.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah, we're probably going to get this out right when the snowstorm hits. So it's what it is. East Coast has been wild this year. But yeah. So have a lot of things to cover. The Super Bowl happened. Eagles win over the Chiefs. Wasn't even close. I actually went to bed in the fourth quarter with like 4 minutes left. I was just like, oh, this is just ridiculous. Chiefs stink. No, I mean, they're just, yeah, it's just annoying. I am annoyed by the fact that it wasn't a good game because that was my only hope. I dislike the Eagles. I'm a Redskin fan. Can't stand the Eagles. And the fact that they were, they beat us. So, and then not only they're a divisional rival. So, I'm not fond of the Eagles. I'm also not fond of the Chiefs because they've just been winning so much. So, anyway, it was no matter who played, the Eagles in that game would have got their butts kicked. So, I don't really care. Anyway,
you mean the Redskins or the Commanders?
I'm a Redskin fan. I am a Redskin fan. I've been diehard Skins fan. Oh, dude, this little old men used to make fun of me when I was little, and they'd be like, the dead skins? And I was like...
These little old men.
Oh, dude, little old men would just roast me as a child.
Don't be a little old man, I guess.
Don't be a little old man. Calling my team the Deadskins. Made me all upset when I was little. Anyway, we're good now. We're good. Oh, sports is... I'm way too into sports, but it's okay. It's what it is. Super Bowl, over.
Caleb, we got to talk about our upgrades or potential upgrades.
My bad.
We'll have to see what the audience thinks.
Yeah, well, I'll text some people, see what you guys think. But, I mean, I like it. It's better lighting. That's all we did. We just changed up some lighting. It's still a little bright. I'm just really white, guys. I'm sorry. I'm just a whitey. And we also have Cody in the gulag. I don't see anything currently on
It's recording.
Okay, I just wanted to check. He's like, it's an interrogation room. So I am going, every time I cut to him, I'm going to...
Literally, my eyes are just like...
Yeah.
It's probably still not as bright as Caleb, but it's completely different light. So it's just like, I can't even look at it.
It's just LEDs.
Just
like right in his
frying my retinas.
Skull. But, yeah, we're going to be going over a couple different things. I'm pretty excited about it. First thing I wanted to go over, the biggest thing is Doge. Doge has just been going crazy. They've been blocking a lot of different payments. They've been cutting supposedly they've cut the Department of Education. We'll see if that actually comes to fruition. I believe that they are allowed to halt funding. So, I mean, where you halt the funding, you halt the everything. So, we'll see. I'm not sure exactly if that'll get blocked by the courts. I actually saw J.D. Vance also tweeted out a couple hours ago. He was just saying that, hey, it's not the court's job to do the executive branch's, job. So, I mean, he feels like it's illegal. He just was kind of mentioning, hey, if you have the military, a judge can't tell a general what to do in war. And he kind of went down a couple other examples and was basically like, hey, a judge should not be able to tell the executive branch exactly what they've been elected to do. So anyway, totally agree. I do think this whole judge thing, they just seem to be able to stop everything. And to me, that's a little weird. Like, if you're the executive branch, you should be able to cut funding. I don't understand why the judge has to be involved. I don't get it. Don't get it at all. But anyway, we'll see what happens. Doge, they also stopped well, they didn't stop it. They're asking for a refund. $59 million was sent to New York City as of 1 or 2 days ago to help house illegal immigrants. And Trump has specifically just halted all spending, extra spending, and foreign aid. All these types of programs, he's had an executive order demanding that they be stopped. They don't care. FEMA sent out the payment. They said, screw you. And they did it. I mean, technically, this is insubordination. I mean, this is clearly what it is. I want jail time for some of it. I mean, I just don't understand how you can directly say, oh, no, we're not listing. We're going to send out money despite the executive order having already been placed. So Musk did say that Doge is actually going to to figure out how to get the money back. I mean, I assume some of it's been spent. I'm not sure how much. They probably also knew there was a clock with this, so they're probably trying to spend it as quickly as possible. So, yeah, They're anything they can do to help other people besides the American people. That's what you can bet on. Doge has also, how much have they cut so far, Cody? I'd be curious if you could pull that up. That would be
$75 billion, I believe. Maybe 76.
That's so much money, and that's per year. Currently, we're over budget by $300 billion per quarter. That's kind of what we're out between 300 to 700 billion. So if we were to divide 700 billion by 4, we're still a little bit behind. We need to keep things going. Doge clock. Let's go.
Correction, it's 80 billion.
80 billion
as of today.
80 billion saved. That's awesome. That's pretty exciting.
That's crazy.
We need a lot more.
You know what's funny is I keep looking at this U.S. federal budget deficit right here, and it's still going up, but it's going up slower and slower.
Gotcha.
Obviously.
Good.
But yeah, it's 80 billion. That is a lot of money, but not even close to what needs to happen.
Yeah, we're $36 trillion in debt.
Yeah.
36.4 trillion.
And we're adding $2 trillion to that yearly. Just in spending, not in interest. Just
in
spending.
We're over. Our deficit, if we wanted to balance the budget, we would have to cut $2 trillion off the spending. Because the problem is that our interest payment now on that debt is about $1 trillion a year. So even though it feels like maybe our government's not spending that much, it's just like a credit card bill. You run it up too high, all of a sudden, all your income's going to that. So it's just irresponsibility. These people need to be held accountable. It's ridiculous. Anyway, Doge seems to be doing that. The whole promise was, I don't see anything wrong with it. In particular, the only thing is that a judge has also halted, Musk basically being able to see, what they're calling sensitive data. It's basically, they're trying to stop him from being able to see who got paid. That's what it is, and how much they made. So obviously, if it's easier to be able to see, okay, well, the money went here. How much did they make? Right? You can look at their tax return. Right? I mean, that's a really easy way to say, oh, they got paid $10 million from the federal government, rather than looking through the whole federal government side of things and going, oh my gosh, you know how many payments of 10 million and more that we've made as a federal government? I mean, so many. So it's a lot easier to do it the other way. So anyway, it's just ridiculous. They're halting it because they don't want these programs cut. That's the honest truth. Department of Education is going to be cut next, and we'll see what kind of happens. What do you think? What do you think about the Doge situation currently? Let's go to the interrogation room.
Yeah, here at the interrogation room. Just my take. No. I personally love it. I was having a conversation with a federal employee a couple days ago, and anyway, and I told him, I was like, I can speak.
That's funny.
I can speak on this matter because I don't work for the federal government, so of course I want to.
You're a real man?
I'm just like,
I didn't know. Oh, okay. You're a real man, unlike these other guys. Sorry, not sorry.
I'm just like, cut. Just like, I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. Like, and their point was, oh, you go to work for the federal government, so your job is secure. Like, you have those assurances that you can't just get laid off. And I'm like, but that creates a terrible atmosphere in terms of, what's the word? In terms of
incentives,
incentives, and just like, technology increasing. What? I'm absolutely having a brain fart right now. What?
But you're talking about innovation.
Innovation.
Yeah, there's going to be zero innovation.
There's zero. It creates an atmosphere of zero innovation when you literally can't fire people. I mean, and that's crazy to me. So there has to be a little bit of fear like the private sector, and we see so much more innovation in the private sector. I mean, then the argument could be said, well, the government isn't really for innovation, but
at the same time, at least be efficient. If there's no accountability ever, it's like, okay, well, that's cool. In that case, I'm going to hire as many people as I can to do my job for me.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's kind of what's happened.
Yeah. So anyway, cut. At the end of the day, I told the person, like, the sector that they're in, I don't agree with the agency. I think their agency should be shut down, but their particular job, they're going to be fine. It's a very essential job. It's in data.
Unless they cut all of the ATF. That'd be beautiful.
Yeah, but they'll be able to find a job somewhere else.
Yeah.
What I mean is like,
Yeah. No, the industry they're in. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're fine. They're fine.
So
It's not like a door knocker,
Yes.
somebody who's like,
they're
hello.
not in like a DEI program that's literally getting
Yeah.
cut
Yeah, yeah.
day one. So they'll be they'll be fine.
I'm sorry, black females. I'm sorry.
They'll be
Trump came for you.
Well,
to be fair,
somebody did.
To be fair,
Can't say that.
Cody's like, well, I got a camera on me. Immediately canceled.
Cancel.
But
I'm sorry, Miss Uniti. This is for you, and I'm getting canceled along with Caleb.
but yeah, no, it's kind of funny how the fear mongering of like, he's gonna come after black women, and then like day one he does cut DEI. I'm like, maybe they were right. Maybe the leftists were right. But it happens.
Bright.
Yeah, Cody's
only
just the interrogation. It's an interrogation room for a reason. We need to get we need to get the answers quick. Don't think about it.
It's terrible lighting. Like I can't,
Dude.
I know when I'm editing this, I'm going to cringe. Like I'm just gonna
Because you're
be
just like squinting. Dude,
like,
you're
this
back to
is
your natural people.
horrible.
To your ancestors. He's a little Asian, by the way. But I mean, think about when I was looking at these huge lights before. It was horrible. It was horrible.
I don't really have any room to talk.
Yeah, I mean, it was. You don't understand. My eyes were
Is this better on your eyes though?
so much better.
Yeah, I think it's
So
also
much.
better just in quality.
I think
I think it's a lot better.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we'll see what our 3 viewers say. But
hopefully I get more relaxed.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
I mean that before. It was
before you were
like,
just like,
I was like,
it's a production.
they're here. I don't know who's here, but they're here. A foreign aid has been stopped 100%, except for Israel. Yeah, obviously. But then Ukraine. It's interesting that Trump is not 100% set on cutting all Ukrainian aid, which is interesting. However, I think he's using it as a leverage, as a bargaining chip to get minerals from Ukraine. So essentially, we're like, hey, what do they have? They have rare earth. They have other minerals. Let's get them. So that's going to be interesting. I think.
What's the number? I think it's estimated like $14 trillion worth of rare earth minerals.
It's
Ukraine.
a lot.
That-
It's a lot. So
a lot.
if we're able to export that,
Sorry, and the crazy thing that would about half our national debt if we took all of those minerals.
Think about that.
That's
And I'm not
crazy.
saying that we should take it all, but no, genuinely, I mean, I do think if we were able to do that, if we were able to just go to, Europe as a whole and be like, hey, and Japan and all these other countries be like, hey, we've protected you for all these years, Israel, all of them. We've protected you for all these years. We're going to need some sort of payback, right? Like just a payment. I don't care how you do it. We need to figure out a way to where we can literally take these goods, put them in the marketplace, and pay down our national debt to where it's going straight to the principal. And I think that would really, really work. And I mean, let's say we take $7 trillion of Ukraine's minerals over the next, let's call it 4 years. We take, Venezuela. We're paying the CI for something. Knock them down, guys. Knock them down. We take about $5 trillion, over $1 trillion a year. We need to be doing like
now we're
trillion.
debt free.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And
Debt free in 5 years.
Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of been my thought process is like, there are certain regimes and there are certain things that the world is better with the United States in a position of power. So I don't necessarily think that it's even wrong to ask like, hey, NATO, like we've paid all this money in and you guys haven't. Like that's where you can literally account our national debt to military spending. 100%. And yes, those Iraq wars, those are on us. So I don't think we should take all of, I don't think we should be like, hey, everybody pay for everything we've done. No, but I do think that all of our allies should really take a portion of that because our majority of all of our debt is because of the military. And we're protecting people. We're protecting the free trade. So, yes, everyone in the Mediterranean owes us a little bit. Not a little bit. They owe us a lot. So, anyway, if you were to take our military budget, the U.S. is not in something also to remember. The U.S. is in no way vulnerable to invasion. Between the Pacific and the Atlantic and the Panama Canal, we are 100% safe. And we have Canada and Mexico to our north and south. We are so safe. We just don't care. We could spend $100 billion a year and be more impenetrable than any other nation in the world. But we are offensive because we want to protect free trade. We want to help our allies. We believe that protecting other people helps us at the end of the day, right? Well, the problem is that everyone really saw that, and they were like, well, in that case, we don't have to spend any money on our military. We see that out of Scandinavia. We see that out of a lot of Europe. For years, they just didn't really spend anything. And then when they did, it's been way, way under the GDP, comparative to us. So it's just a big problem. So either way, I think that we could get, from Venezuela, I think we could get around $6 trillion to $7 trillion over the next 4 years. I think we could get around, $3 trillion out of Ukraine. Over 10 years, I think we could get 7 to 10 trillion. I'd say about 7. But either way, the main goal is, hey, we get 3 trillion from here, we get 7 trillion from here. All right, that's 10 trillion right down on the national debt. We're all the way down to 24 trillion. Each year we just cut our budget back. We put $1 trillion towards principal on the debt every year. That's another 4 trillion off of it. What are we up to? We're up to, we're over 14 trillion down. So, I mean, we're at, let's say we get to up to 16 trillion paid off. All right, well, all of a sudden we're down to under 20 trillion in debt. Oh my goodness. Well, this is awesome. And I say that we just keep doing it. We pull that from each and every country. I think we can pull together another 10 trillion. Boom. In 4 years, our national debt's down to $10 trillion. We can swallow that. We can live with that. Well, let's pay it down more. But guess what? Our interest payments on that is way less now. All of a sudden, our interest payment on our debt is what? It's a third of what we're paying now. So we're paying $300 billion a year rather than, a trillion. So now all of a sudden we don't have to pull resources out of anybody else. All we do is, and I actually say we give the oil back to the Venezuelans. Just with one thing, hey, pump the market full so you can keep the prices low. Just don't allow them to join BRICS. Add some different things in there. And then not only that, but we're in good shape because now we can start paying down the deficit with that $700 billion that we've already been budgeted to going to the debt. Right? We already have $1 trillion budgeted. If we get our interest payment down to $300 billion, boom, we have $700 billion a year. We can just chip away at that national debt. And we don't have to change anything else about our spending, right? Obviously, we just have to keep a balanced budget. Boom. We're going to be debt-free. That's what a country should be. I mean, that's where it should be. We should be in a position where we're debt-free, and we might go into $1 trillion of debt. Why? Because we have a massive war we got to fight, right? That's what that should be there for. It should not be as a regular, like, oh, well, every year we go into $2 to $3 trillion of debt. It's like, oh my gosh. I mean, that's what are we talking about right now? That's like you having your parents, they're old and decrepit, like all of these freaking senators and House representatives are. They're old and decrepit, and they're like, you know what? I'm just gonna, let's say they own a business with you 50-50, and they're like, well, I'm just gonna keep borrowing money. I'm gonna borrow about $1 million a year. And it's like, we're revenuing that. What are you talking about? Like, I don't know. And all of a sudden, when they hand it to you, they're like, oh, yeah, you're $20 million in the hole. It's like, okay, well, you've ruined my life. So anyway, that's what's going to happen eventually. So either way, I think that's a way that we can 100% get out of debt. It'll have to be radical. I'm not saying it's not. I'm not saying that, you have to play softball. You have to play really hard ball to get that first 20 trillion off the debt. That's going to include taking resources from all of Europe, from Ukraine, from Venezuela, all these other countries to pay it down. Israel, all of them. Japan, Korea. I mean, it's just what it is. So yeah, it's pretty awesome. And then let's get tariffs in here so we don't have to pay income tax. But
hey, man,
let's go. You have anything to add in particular about that, Cody? I'm sorry, the interrogation room.
Not really. I think you hit it up pretty on the head. It is like, at least since we've been alive, like our country's never been debt free. So it's just like it's just increasingly getting worse and worse and worse. And I think a lot of people don't realize the implications, but imagine like cutting income tax. Like, that could be possible with a debt-free country.
Yep.
Like, and that's crazy.
It's huge.
I mean, we've had income tax from the 1850s.
Yeah. For first,
I think.
let me look up first income tax.
Something like that. So I mean, it's absolutely crazy, and I'm not sure where I'm supposed to look. Am I supposed to look at you when I talk or the camera?
I don't know.
I've never done this.
Give him a little.
Usually always
We can ask the
camera.
Ask our one listener.
Do you want me to look into your soul or like? I don't know.
1862.
Wow, I was close. Okay, I was 12
Guess who
years
it
old.
was? Lincoln.
Stinking Lincoln.
Ruin this country,
He's
man.
like, we're gonna take your slaves and then we're gonna charge you taxes. Wow.
That dude stunk. No wonder nobody got shot. That dude sucked.
Well,
No.
anyway, but yeah, that's gonna get us canceled. But
it was a joke. It was a joke, man. Satire. I love Daddy Lincoln. I almost said Daddy Elon. Daddy Elon's
Daddy E.
dad does own slaves. Wrap your brain about
Does
that.
or did?
Did maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Either way, he used to have them.
I think Daddy Elon's dad is about to get shot in South Africa.
That's
But-
true. What's his name? Errol or something? It's something weird.
Yeah, I don't remember. His brother's got a weird name too.
That's
Elon is in the Bible.
Yeah, it's a Jewish name.
The name Elon.
Yeah. Yep.
I didn't know that.
Yep. It's
Me and Noel Bubba K were reading that the other day. It's in Judges. He's actually one of the judges. He was
Hey.
I think a judge for
was he cutting the budget or
8 years. No, there's literally a verse that it talks about him like having 30 wives, I think, and that's it.
accurate?
I mean, pretty accurate.
Accurate. Man, this dude. I mean, maybe that's Elon's whole thing. He's just trying to live up to the Bible.
There we go.
All right. But yeah. So anyway, Zelensky essentially they're continuing to talk it through. Another thing I want to talk about was abortion. Cody almost didn't believe this.
I didn't.
I want you guys to guess in your homes, in your little
Comment down below before we give the answer.
yeah, comment below before how many abortions a day you think there are, and then how many abortions a year worldwide you think there are. And for fun, if you want to, you can also I'll just tell you it, but guess how many abortions there are in the U.S. a year. And that's only reporting from 46 states. There's a couple states that do not report. So it's actually a lot higher than what the report numbers even are.
West Virginia and Tennessee, they're just
We don't have the internet.
We don't have the infrastructure to report data.
We don't have the internet. But yeah, guess down below how many abortions a day in the world, how many abortions a year in the world, and how many abortions in the U.S. I was just really surprised. It is interesting though to see the abortion data, because from the world, I at least thought that a lot of countries wouldn't have access to it. Right? I think that India, I think Africa as a whole probably just doesn't have Kazakhstan. Like, I mean, these people probably just don't have open and ready access to abortions. So it really is incredible to see. So either way,
Isn't it a more Western thing?
it is, but well, I mean, I shouldn't say that. That was my impression. I'm not 100% sure. Can you look up how many abortions is in Europe a year? But either way, it is 200,000 abortions a day. A day. A freaking day. It is over 600,000 abortions in the U.S. per year. That's just the U.S., only 46 states reporting. The crazy number is that it's around 72 million abortions a year worldwide. 72 million. That's incredible. I mean, it's the worst thing ever, but 1,000 abortions per day in Europe. So that they have an annual of 365,000 abortions. So you know what? I'm not going to lie. Where are all these abortions coming from?
The U.S.
I know we have, let's say we have 1 million a year.
That's a good point.
Where in the world are these abortions happening? Hold on.
You know where?
Where? Gaza?
I wasn't going to say that. I was going to say the other one, but
Israel? Oh, they're having children. They're being fruitful and multiplying.
yeah. What is with the USAID sending $50 billion worth of condoms to Gaza? Isn't that kind of against the religion to wear
So
for
crazy.
contraception?
So
that's
crazy.
crazy. I just don't get it. I don't get it. I really don't.
I mean, the WHO, every year in the world, there are around 73 million induced abortions.
Do they give you like a breakdown?
Let me see. Abortion statistics. This year, over 5 million abortions currently. You can actually watch it tick up.
Oh, that's crazy.
That's horrific. Another one's dead. 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 Another one's dead.
So we have
I can't even
anywhere
keep up.
from the U.S. apparently 1,500 to 2,500 a day.
A day.
So
A day.
again, you're right. I don't really know because obviously
a lot of states don't report, so that's the problem.
obviously Europe
But-
and the United States is probably going to be the most accurate data projections.
Yeah. Yep.
So where?
So
is
that's
this
what it
other
said.
number
Yeah, it
coming
says
from?
between 1,500 and 2,500 abortions per day in the U.S. The reason there's such a big discrepancy there is because it's also excluding miscarriages. By the way, you guys freaking in the comments.
But going back to your point, Europe and the U.S. equate for on the liberal side 1.5
Yeah.
million a year.
Yeah. We'll say that. So where are these 73 million coming from?
Antarctica, like I don't get it.
Yeah. Yep.
Africa,
Oh, okay.
like, what is their classification of abortion?
Yeah. No, it's not including miscarriages. So it's
Very
It's
interesting.
induced. Okay. 73 million. Okay. Worldwide each year.
Hey, I mean,
6 out of the 10.
WHO has a track record for inflating numbers with COVID.
That's a good point. They're like, it's 100 billion. We're like, whoa, dang, these women are crazy. Let's see here. So it doesn't really specifically say. I mean, okay, yep, 73 million. It keeps saying it worldwide each year. 6 out of 10 are unintended pregnancies. Yeah, geographical. It's interesting. More than half of all unsafe abortions occurred in Asia. Wow.
That's crazy.
So a lot of them are happening in Asia and a lot of them in Latin America. Abortions. Can you look up
Interesting.
how many abortions a year in South America? I'm just curious, because like maybe there's like a really, and then do North America too after you look up that, because maybe it is just okay. Wow, they have a lot
That's
of
a
abortions
4-year period, though.
each year. It
Oh,
says
each year, okay.
That's crazy. So over 6.5 million each year, and that's also it's gone up from there, right? Because their populations have grown, and that's 2014 data. So I assume that the World Health Organization is accounting for that increase. I mean, how can you look up 2012 population South America? Because we'll take the direct difference of or the average of the years in which it was taken. Okay, so there's about 394 million people. All right, now look up current population of South America. 394 million people lived in South America as of, okay, so it's gone up by about 50 million. Okay, so yeah,
About 100 million.
about 100 million. Am I retarded?
No, you're
Yeah, 50
you're
million.
right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, 50. It's gone up by about 50 million as of 2022. So it's probably gone up even more. So yeah, it's definitely going to be up. We're going to be about 8 million then abortions a year out of South America. Look up North America now. 8 million abortions a year out of South America. Because I was honestly skeptical as well. It's kind of a good thing we're going through this, because I was like, where are they getting this data? Just go how many
Oh, yeah.
in front of it. Yeah, that way. Here we go.
That says United States.
United States. It says over 1 million in the United States a year.
Which
You just
which
put in
is right.
Mexico. Put in Mexico. That'll probably be easier. Because the honest truth is, you probably don't have good reporting out of Nicaragua or Honduras. Not a rate. I don't want a rate. Do how many abortions in Mexico a year? There we go. That'll do it. But yeah, I mean, because essentially you do have a large population besides Mexico and South America. So that was kind of my thought. I was like, I'm sorry, Central America. So maybe that's kind of where it's coming from.
About 300,000.
About 300,000. Let's low as, so that's the lowest estimate, is 300,000. Wow. So the Mexicans abort a lot of their kids then. That's almost higher than the U.S. per capita. I mean, that's a lot. If let's say that their estimates, because the U.S. usually had about a 20%, fluctuation. So that's crazy, man. That's crazy. So Mexico's going wild over there.
Yeah, that's a lot.
So let's say another 500,000 out of, so North America, let's put it at around 2 million. South America goes crazy with it at we're not even including Canada. Look how many abortions in Canada. Canada is such a small population. I mean, that should be like 60,000 or less. Probably less. Yeah, it should be like next to nothing. Not available.
In 2020, had about 74,000 abortions.
That's terrible that I knew that.
Yeah,
anyway,
you were very close.
Yeah. Anyway, but yeah. So I mean, the numbers are actually on. I'm shocked that South America had so many because their population's lower than North America. So, it's horrible, absolutely horrible. But either way, you can see about 20 million coming from. Yeah. What's up?
I think it's about.
We're running low on battery.
We're running low on juice.
How close are we, Cody?
It does say 20%, but it said that for the past 10 minutes, so I'm concerned.
Right. So we're probably good. Real quick, I'm just gonna close up here. Last topic. Anyway, besides that, what was the point of that? I was just bringing up that's horrific. Take what you want from it. Unless you're anti-humanity and you're pro-abortion, which who in the world be pro-abortion besides most of the women in this country?
I mean, just kind of what we were talking about earlier today in the terms of how Japan is dying as a nation in terms of birth rates and population. I mean, they're really struggling. A lot of Asian nations, I'm not sure about China, but Japan, I think Korea,
South Korea is horrific.
Yeah, South Korea, not so good. So
it's bad. It's
not good.
I mean, bad ideas die. Bad ideas die. Good ideas multiply. I mean, that's just a fact of life. So, I don't know what to make of it besides, you kill all your kids, guess what's going to happen? All of your jobs is going to go somewhere else. That's what's happening, right? That's why Trump was able to make that deal with Japan. Japan's going to invest $1 trillion into our economy. Why? Because they don't have the workers. Because they killed all their kids. So now it's like, all right, well, the company has to make a choice. Do we want to die as a company, or do we want to die with this nation? Like, is that kind of the concept? We're just going to shrink and into oblivion? No, we're going to export our jobs. So that's what they're doing. So anyway.
We also didn't help the whole kid thing back in, the 40s? Part 51, whenever we nuked the living daylights out of them.
What's horrible about the nukes and also just war in the Dresden, attacks on Germany, the thing is that we killed a lot of the guys in combat, and the ones that weren't in combat were away fighting in the war. So like when they say civilian casualties is X, it's actually way higher because I mean as far as women and children, like I mean it's just women and children. So if you say it like that, it's like, oh my gosh, it's way worse. Just so horrific. But anyway, last topic I just want to cover really quickly. Stop having abortions, everybody. That way we don't die as a species. Lord have mercy. The UK is backing down from their censorship and their laws around censorship. It was called safety, online safety, some BS, But either way, Trump threatened tariffs on the UK, and the UK says, okay, we're good. We're not going to enforce it. So that's awesome. Very, very good.
PTL.
Yes, the Labour Party in the UK essentially was trying to, so they had this facade, and they had this kind of optical. It actually looked good from the outside if you just looked at it real quick. If you ask Google, what's included in this, it's going to tell you, they're having harder restrictions on porn. They're having harder restrictions on what kids can see, right? Oh, that sounds good, right? Let's get the kids off these devices, etc. It also helps. What would you say? Harm. It basically has a very loose definition for harm. But the problem is that, well, what's harm? Harm can be not physical. It can just be emotional, right? You can emotionally harm somebody. Now it's illegal. Oh my gosh, now you can't do anything. So you can't insult anyone online. You can't.
Because then what's the definition of harm, and who decides what that is?
Who decides? That's the biggest thing. Who decides? And right now it's the fascist Labour Party in the UK. So anyway, it's an absolute problem. The UK is a bad situation because the Conservative Party is good for nothing. They're the worst. Everyone thought that they were the worst until the Labour Party came in. So the poor Brits, you guys are screwed. You have the two worst political parties almost in the world. I mean, I would take Xi Jinping over what you got. At least Xi Jinping, he might be a damn communist, but at least he's got brains. Your Labour Party's fascist. Your Labour Party's Hitler without the brains. It's like the worst. Like, we're retarded and we're enslaved.
It's the methed out Hitler.
Yeah. You guys got the methed out version of Hitler. The worst. No.
He's just like tweaking. Dude, I saw a video of him, and he was just like, it was at the 1939 Olympics, 38 Olympics.
Yep.
There in Germany, and he was just like, he was like twiddling with his hands, and he's just like bobbing back and forth, and I was like, holy cow, he's tweaked out of his mind.
He was ready, dude. He was thinking about the war. He was
going to stink and just hit the 400 meter, to start hurdling.
He probably would have won. That's funny. But anyway, the UK is in a really hard predicament. Elon's very happy about this because that way they also were going to monitor and require content moderation according to these laws as well. So anything that's deemed X, Y, and Z, offensive, hurtful, harmful, all these things would have to be taken down, and the companies would be held liable. So all of a sudden, as a company, you're not going to want to get sued. You're not going to want to be in trouble. So you're going to 100% get rid of all of your disagreeable content, anything that may conflict with that and get you fined. You don't want to get fined. It's hard enough to have a business as it is. So anyway, sounds good, guys. If you have anything that we want to cover, let me know in the comments, DM us, etc. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Like, share, comment. We're going to hit this more in the coming weeks. So
let us know what you think about the new lighting.
Let us know.
We're trying some new things.
How do you like it? I like it. I
personally like it a lot more. I got that red, white, and blue theme going on. With
exactly.
White. The America, baby.
I'm the white. We got the red, and we got the blue, baby. Let's go.
Pretty much.
No, I'm just horrifically white. I mean, Lord have mercy.
We got to get you tan, Caleb.
I know. I need to get golfing. Man,
there we go. Get you a spray tan like Daddy Trump.
I could go orange.
Some of our
the video if you want us to go orange.
Some of our TikTok comments think you are orange, so
it's gonna be great. It's gonna be huge. I'm just orange.
Anyway,
Anyway, guys, sounds good. Like, share, comment. We'll see you guys next time.